Now, cornerback is more of bad luck than anything because they had a few guys. Trill Williams was playing very good early on, or at least the reports were very positive from camp. He goes down out for the year. Mackenzie Alexander, they run out and sign him one day later, so you can't knock them for not trying. And, he played okay against last week versus the Raiders. He goes down out for the year. Everyone says Joe Hayden. And here's the thing. Drew Rosenhaus, who's his agent, said Joe Hayden wants to start and he wants to get paid like a starter. Well, Miami's already paying starters a whole lot of money at that spot, and they probably don't want to pay a third one what he's going to want. Again, after week 1, could that change when the contract's not fully guaranteed? Sure, but they need to do something because I think it's safe to say Noah Igbenogany in a big spot ain't going to work.
No, I agree. I mean, I think that the big problem here is Byron Jones, right? Is like he's just on PUP, and like we just haven't heard any remote update other than Byron Jones is still on the PUP list. So like, I think that's a problem. And like, here's the thing, and this might get me killed, but I'm going to say it anyway. Nik Needham is okay. Like, I think that Dolphins fans have a tendency to overrate Nik Needham a little bit. He's a good cornerback, and that's fine. However, with Byron Jones out, he goes from number 3 to number 2. And honestly, I don't think Nik Needham's an NFL 2. I think he's an NFL 3, and that's fine. He's a UDFA from freaking UTEP. That's a great career for that dude. No, like, truly it is. But like, he, like, think about, right, like you're going to go play the Bengals, right, at some point. I forget when that is in their schedule. But let's just say, hypothetically, you could do this with 16 other teams in the NFL that have 2 good receivers. Xavier Howard can cover Jamar Chase. Buddy, Nik Needham on T. Higgins concerns me. Like, that worries me. Also, Tyler Boyd exists. Some teams have more than 2 good receivers, right? So I'm not really trying to knock Nik Needham. I think Nik Needham's a good player, but like him as a number 2, also he might be better in the slot than he is outside, right? So like Byron Jones is like the big like problem here. Do you miss him? If you are missing him, for how long? Those things worry me. I think Keon Crossland's been good based on reports in camp and based on what we've seen in the preseason. I think he's been the best corner that we've seen like a lot of reps from. Obviously, it's not Noah Igbenogany. So, right, like they tried, right? You bring in Mackenzie Alexander. I mean, I think maybe you try and give like Chris Harris Jr. a call. You start getting into like the AJ Boyes of the world. I wrote a piece about this for SI. It's just like, look, man, like not a ton of great options out there. Just really like this is not the time you're either getting young players who have played minimal snaps and have spotty records in those snaps, or you're getting corners on the wrong side of 30. And I know that Joe Hayden is good. Joe Hayden did not have a good year last year. The last time that he played a lot of games, he was not very good for Pittsburgh. Even if you do sign him, and honestly, I don't blame them. I mean, it's an option. You consider it. I would not pay Joe Hayden a lot of money. It's not worth it. I can, probably get close to the same level of what we saw Joe Hayden's last year in Pittsburgh out of Keon Crossland. Like maybe not as good, but like close. And I'm paying him $8 million less per year. Like, yeah, like I'll give up a couple more completions a game for $8 million. So that's where they're at with cornerback. I mean, I agree with you. I think they need to attack this again. Maybe the trade market yields something. We'll see what happens after 53-man cuts. But, Byron Jones is concerning, right? Because I think that Jones creates 2 holes for you if he's out. He creates, obviously, his own hole, and then you're now moving Nik Needham. And I don't think Nik Needham's as good as Byron Jones. And then now we're plugging in somebody to the slot. And a lot of teams have 3 good receivers. So that player is going to play.